Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Eggy and this is a week in my life.
I don't have to party to have fun, you see. I got different hobbies and that's all I need.
Hey guys, today is Sunday. So what did I end up doing today? Today's weather was really nice. It was really nice out. I ended up going to my boyfriend's house. We're still in a long distance relationship. He's still in Hong Kong, but I'm actually good friends with his sister. So I was just hanging out with his sister at his house today. We wanted to originally get a pho from the pho, which is like a really good like restaurant for pho, and their iced Saigonese coffee is out of this world. It is so good and we've missed it so dearly, and we thought that maybe they're open now, so we wanted to see if they're open now for takeout. They're not, unfortunately. They're still closed because of the COVID situation. So we ended up getting a sashimi platter from Gao Sushi and we just ended up eating at her house. The cool thing about her house is that she has 3 dogs. All of them are huskies but not full husky, so we're just hanging out with the dogs, just hanging out and talking and stuff. And then afterwards we went to First Marketplace, the Yifeng there, to get bubble tea, which she hasn't had since I think maybe like 2 months ago. She said the last time she went with me, so that was like probably like 2 months ago. So she says it tastes extra good. I think it's because she hadn't had it in a while. Like, it's good, like it's really good, don't get me wrong. Like, their boba is amazing, and we always get the black sugar milk pearl, so we always get the same thing, and it's always like honestly so good. But I think she thinks it's especially good because she hasn't had it in so long. And then we were just walking around like First Marketplace, like inside, because now like the stores are opening and stuff, and the malls are opening in Toronto now, right? So after we did that, we went to Omomo and picked up some stuff. I was actually looking for their, like in their candy section. I really like those like sour gummies. Like, they're so good. Like, I love their sour gummies. Like the one that looked like I think it's called like fettuccine or something. It's like Japanese. Most of the time they have it. This time they did not have it, so I was kind of upset. I was really looking forward to that. I really wanted the grape one, but they don't have it, so what can you do? But his sister ended up getting some stuff from there, which is cool. Yeah, so that's always a really good place to, I guess, just browse around. They have a lot of cool stuff there usually. That's what we did today, and then I just came home, and now, yeah, that's where I am. One thing that's actually really interesting is that recently I've been doing, so first of all, I'm a really big fan of Aja Ding. She's a YouTuber and she talks about finance, and I think it's really cool what she does, because I think like I majored in accounting, but I feel like not a lot of people know that much about finances. And growing up too, like, because my dad is in finance, so he always talked to me about finance and such. But I know a lot of my friends, like, none of their parents really did talk to them about finance. So like with budgeting and stuff like that, they're not that familiar, right? Especially if they don't have like a degree in business, right? So I think what she's doing is really cool. So I think a few weeks ago she uploaded a video about like her and her boyfriend doing like a quiz from Refinery 29. So it's just basically like a kind of like a finance quiz that you do with your significant other, and it's just 20 questions. And I did it with my boyfriend because I thought it was really interesting, and I was really interested to hear, you know, what he says. And it's really interesting because that quiz, they kind of break it up into 3 sections, like the past, the present, and the future. So past, like, you know, they have questions like as a child, what was your first like money related memory, for example, right? And I think like with those kind of quizzes, it kind of breaks the ice for couples to talk about finance, right? And it actually gives some, I guess, a direction on what we can talk about. My boyfriend and I have always talked about finances, so it wasn't really anything that we haven't talked about before. But I thought their questions were really cool because like, so like questions like what was your first like finance related memory, for example. Like, I wouldn't know that, right? And I wouldn't think to ask either, right? Like, that's not something that would just come up, right? And I feel like those types of questions, it was like, it made it really fun. Like, we had a great time. We were talking about like, he was saying how like when he's like way better with with money than I am, I would say. The reason why I say that is because like he spends his money really well. Like, he only buys things that he thinks are of good value. And like I was telling my friend this too, I was like, oh, he's really good at buying stuff, like he always buys things that are really good value, right? But the downside to that is because all his stuff that he buys is so good, his family takes it and I take it. So it's all gone because it's such a well bought item. We all steal it from him, so all of his stuff is gone and he has to buy something new, right? So like, yeah, so that's what I was saying. But like it's interesting. Like you think finance is boring, but that quiz like makes it really interesting. So if you're interested, or if you haven't, you know, really talked about finance with your significant other, or you're interested in just, you know, just having some topics to talk about with your partner, I think these quizzes are a lot of fun. Like I think I'm gonna do a bunch more. Like I just did a couple last week as well after the finance one, because I thought it was a lot of fun and it was really funny and we laughed and had a great time. Like I did other ones too, like about like, oh, what's your, I don't remember what those quizzes were, but like some questions they had, it was really well rounded, but some questions they had were with regards to like what his favorite date with me is, for example. What was the, you know, what we wore the first time we met each other. And like for something like that, definitely doesn't apply to me because I've known my boyfriend for over 15 years. Like he was my best friend for like 13 years before, like 13-14 years before we started dating. So like I don't remember what he wore 15 years ago, and he doesn't remember what I wore 15 years ago either, right? So like it didn't apply to us. But I feel like with like new couples, like it's fun, you know, like just walking down memory lane. We're saying like I think the best date we've been on, for me, it was the first date we've been on. That was the best one for me because it really stood out because it is the first date we've been on. But for him, it was the first time I went to New York because first of all, it was the first time he's ever been to New York. And second of all, he really liked the food there. He said he was debating between the first date we went on, which we went on a trip to Niagara Falls. So he was debating between Niagara Falls and New York, but at the end of the day, at both places we had pizza, right? So he was like, the pizza in New York is better, so he chose pizza. I was like, what? So like dates has to do with food. Like if the food was good, the date was fantastic. Like if the food wasn't that good, then like no, like the date wasn't good. Like to me it's the company, right? But to him apparently it's the food that counts. But so we're like just talking about a lot of stuff. It brings back memories, yeah, discussions, you know, like these things I think is a lot of fun. I don't know, like sometimes I feel like, or maybe it's because like I'm in a long distance relationship right now, so I don't talk to him like all the time since he is in Hong Kong and there is like a 12-hour like time difference. So when I'm asleep he's awake, when he's asleep I'm awake, right? So it's like pretty much opposite. But I think it's cool to do these things. Like I feel like a lot of the times they bring up questions that you normally wouldn't consider asking your significant other, or like it brings up things that lead to other things, right? That you end up talking and you get to know that person better, right? And you get to have like a good time and just like an open discussion, right? I feel like a lot of the times like open discussions are like good to have, especially if you're in like a relationship with someone, right? So I was like, I'm also a really big fan of Miss Mango Butt actually, and I was like, she did a video a while back, I don't remember when, but it's like about like relationship counseling. So she was saying how like it's cool to see people that are still going strong in their relationships to go through relationship counseling. And one thing she mentioned that really stood out to me is that like if you're talking to your significant other and you're not mad at each other and like you bring certain things up, it's easier to deal with or like easier to face than if you're really angry, because when you're angry you get defensive, right? And if you're defensive, you're not very receptive to like feedback, right? And then when one person is defensive and the next person, it drives the other person defensive too sometimes, and most of the time it does, right? So it becomes like an argument. But if you're not if you're not arguing and you're just having like a discussion about, okay, how do you feel about this or how do you feel about that, like it's easier for you to compromise and say, well, I don't agree because of this and I think we can do this, and it's easier to compromise, right? So I thought what she said was really cool, and I think like I never thought about it that way. Like to me, like, and I think she mentioned to her too, like she always thought like something has to be wrong for you to have to go through like relationship like counseling, right? But like she was saying how like some people like go through like a rough patch and they go through relationship counseling and they continue it because it makes their relationship better, and it's like more, and then it becomes more of about like an open discussion. And I think that's really cool, and I think that's really needed actually in a relationship, because like I was telling my boyfriend too, like a relationship, it's like a team, and if you can't bring, I guess, topics to your team, no matter how hard it is, it's not a team, right? Like with a relationship, you're like a team that you're going to face through things in life, and life isn't always happy, right? There will be challenges, like things aren't always smooth. So I think it's very important for you to be able and to feel comfortable to bring like tough topics to your significant other. And I think this is really cool that like she brought up like, oh, that's why like some people go through counseling, and I think that's really empowering, and I think that's really cool, and I think that really does bring a new lens, you know, to the topic of, you know, relationship counseling. What we're having for dessert, this is a matcha crepe cake, and this is a Earl Grey crepe cake from Bake Code. What I'm having for lunch today, a very picturesque dish actually. So we have this egg, salmon, noodles, and some soup. Dessert from Sugar Marmalade. Good morning everyone, today is Wednesday, today is Canada Day, and that means we are on vacation today. So today we get the day off. I know it's kind of weird because it's like a random Wednesday, but this year Canada Day falls on a Wednesday. A little bit of history on this. Canada Day, so July 1st, 1867 is when the Constitution Act was signed. So that's the, I guess, the first formation of Canada, and that's why we call it Canada Day. So after I finish my coffee today, I'm gonna head to Markville because I have to go to Uniqlo to look for a jacket that I want, and then I need to go to Walmart. Hopefully there won't be a lot of people, but I need to go to Walmart to pick up some stuff. I need to get True Blue for my contacts, and I also need to get to, what else do I need to get? There's something else I have to get. I should probably write it down because I'm gonna forget. What else did I need to get? Oh yes, coffee filter for my machine, because I think the water filter is going to be done in July, if I remember. So yes, I have to get those two things. Yep.
Warm hands, but there's something cold in the way you are. The things you said had me going good, but it left a scar. You invite me and then you turn me down. Get my hopes up and then you're gone.
Picked up some salads from Aroma. One is the lentil, the sweet potato lentil, and the other one is the baby kale portobello, I believe. I have no idea which dressing goes with what though. Should probably figure that out. What I'm having for lunch today, so we have it's not spaghetti, linguine with zucchini, I see tomatoes, and corn. Dinner for tonight, I would say this is fusion at its finest. This is actually pork belly, so it's like Korean and Chinese and like, I don't know, just a mix of different things. So our parking garage flooded and everyone's trying to move their cars. You see a million cars, and you see over there, there's actually a firefighter here and a billion people outside just trying to figure out what's going on. What I'm having for lunch today, so we have sundae-guk with rice, raw kimchi, and then it also comes with banchan. I got this from Chosun, and my mom already had her share. That's why there's like half-eaten banchan, but yep, that's what I'm having for lunch today. Fruits for snack, so this is a lychee, cherries, and my favorite watermelon. My dinner, that's a steak salad pretty much. Yep. Coffee of the day. I have an ice brew coffee. So today is Saturday. It's actually night now, despite the fact that it's light, but it seems light, but actually it's actually night right now. But today I didn't vlog that much because we were outside and it's kind of kind of weird actually to vlog when you're like outside and such, so I didn't vlog as much. But what we did today is we went to Chopside Down Mills, but it was so hot that we literally just did one loop and we just left and went to Baby Village because they have a really nice like outdoor kind of patio type of area that's actually open for drinks and such. And we had a slice of cheesecake and then we just had a drink. And then after that we met up with a friend for dinner and we went to a restaurant on Yonge and Steeles, and it was really good. But it was like an outdoor patio kind of thing, so I didn't feel very comfortable there to vlog because it's kind of, sometimes I feel like restaurants are kind of odd to vlog at because I don't want anyone else to be in it, like aside from myself, right? So I try to avoid like having other people be shown in my videos and stuff. But if I'm eating and stuff, I feel like people behind me will show up, right? So I try to be cognizant of that. So unless I'm in like an area where I know my background, there's nobody, then like I feel like it's kind of weird to vlog. But that's what I did today. It was a great day. It was really warm, definitely not complaining, but yeah, I couldn't really vlog too much, so I decided to just kind of give you like a synopsis of what I did today. So that was a week in my life. Hope you liked my vlog, and if you haven't clicked the like button, please give me a like if you like this video. If you haven't subscribed, please click the subscription button below, and remember to turn on your notifications to get notified of my next video. Have a great week. Bye.